This is Connie Jean Conklin, founder, director of SEASCAT, a supportive environment for adult survivors of child abuse and trauma. This is an updated introductory video for 2020. April is Child Abuse Awareness Month, but because of the coronavirus, we can't go out in the community to talk about the issues and struggles of adult survivors. So I'm going to attempt to make videos of our educational workshops for everyone's viewing on YouTube. First, I'd like to tell you a little bit about SEASCAT. It was the idea of Andy. That's not his real name. I met him over 25 years ago, and I was the one who questioned his diagnosis. I know now that he would have been much better off if I hadn't. I felt that since I disrupted his life, I should stay and try to help him find recovery. I've written a book about the time we were together and hope to get it published soon. He wanted his story told, and he wanted an organization such as SEASCAT because he didn't want what happened to him as a child to happen to others. I founded SEASCAT in North Carolina in 2008. In the beginning, we had a lot of interest from other mental health consumers, but few were able to help SEASCAT get organized. That even included myself, as I still had a long ways to go for my recovery. I had avoided admitting that I needed help when I was helping Andy. Finally, the last few years, we have a pretty stable yet very small board of directors. It consists of myself, Reverend Sarah Lee Hennant, also known as Sally, and Mark Dippy. I don't have a picture of him. We accept donations, but we have to let you know that we still don't have a 501c3, so donations are not tax deductible. It has been 12 years since our founding, and we still need more board members and money to become a fully functioning nonprofit. The three of us know about child abuse and the issues and struggles of adult survivors, but we do not have anyone in our organization ready to manage an organization with a 501c3. Please email us at seascat@gmail.com with questions, or if you're interested in supporting us financially or by becoming a board member. Now, as to our educational program. Our educational workshop series is complex because we speak with groups who sometimes have a specific topic they want to hear about, or because the group has a certain degree of knowledge already. This month I'm going to try and cover most of the series. They start out quite general, and as they go along, the workshops become more specific in nature. Abuse from childhood can result in several different diagnoses for the adult survivor. In this country, medical professionals use the DSM-5, or Diagnostic and Statistical Manual 5th edition, to determine diagnosis. I'll get into that another time. For now, I'm going to talk about the diagnosis of complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It is not in the DSM-5, but it is in the ICD, which is the book that the rest of the world uses to identify a diagnosis. You've probably heard of PTSD, as the term applies to veterans of military conflict. It can also be used to diagnose people who survive other disasters, and that diagnosis is in the DSM-5. It is even sometimes used to diagnose survivors of child abuse, but I personally don't accept that diagnosis as accurate. At some point, I will discuss the similarities and differences between PTSD and complex PTSD. Suffice it to say for now, my opinion is their differences outweigh their similarities. Complex PTSD results from traumatic events that are premeditated by someone in the victim's life who is supposed to care, such as a parent or guardian. Trauma caused by another source is not the same. Parents are supposed to care about their children, love them, and protect them. When that relationship is destroyed or damaged, recovery may not be possible. If a parent can't be trusted, then the child may never trust anyone ever again. Children who are abused by someone once trusted become hypervigilant. They know it can happen again, and they are always watching. The adult abuser may have warned them never to tell anyone. Children who are victimized in this way most often don't know that another adult might just be trustworthy and might be able and willing to help, so they don't tell anybody. If nothing is changed within the household, this can last the child's entire childhood. It is not unusual for a child to leave home as a young adult thinking their childhood is normal or average. They survived their childhood by whatever means got them through. And once they leave home, they will likely approach every relationship in a similar manner. Unfortunately, what worked to help them survive a totally dysfunctional childhood doesn't work in the outside world. As a result, a child who disappointed others, failed at everything throughout their childhood, or at least as far as they know, they have failed at everything, they will continue to be a failure and disappointment as an adult, unless they get help from somewhere. And this is why the community needs to learn about the issues and struggles of survivors. With understanding of what is at stake, you and other members of the community will be more willing to take the steps necessary to make a difference. Thank you for listening, and please continue on to the rest of our series.